The whip cracked before anyone could breathe.
You dare?
Hold her! Sierra's knees slammed into the dust as two guards dragged her into the open courtyard. Her heart hammered so hard she thought it would burst through her ribs. The morning air was sharp, carrying the smell of palm oil and fear. Queen Nombasa stood at the top of the stone steps, her face tight with fury. "What is a servant doing on my bed?" the queen demanded. Sierra's throat burned. "My queen, Do not speak unless spoken to," Nombasa snapped. The guards forced Sierra's shoulders down. The crowd of palace workers gathered quickly. Maids, cooks, messengers, every face pale, every eye afraid to linger too long. Nombasa descended one step. "That bed is the seat of the throne," she said. "No dust-born hand touches it." Sierra's voice broke. "I was only resting, my queen. I worked through the night. I swear I meant no dishonor." "Tiredness is not permission," the queen replied coldly. "If servants rest where queens sleep, then order dies." She turned sharply. 10 lashes. A murmur rippled through the courtyard. "No, please," Sierra cried. "Mercy, I beg you." The first lash struck her back like fire. She screamed. The second tore the sound from her throat. By the third, tears blinded her. "Forgive me," she sobbed. "I will never—" "Silence," Nombasa said, not looking away. The fourth lash fell, then the fifth. Sierra's body shook. Her sobs turned ragged, desperate. "My queen, please, I am nothing. Please." The queen's face did not change. At the sixth lash, something inside Sierra snapped, and then, strangely, settled. The seventh never came. Instead, Sierra laughed. It started as a broken sound, barely louder than a breath. Then it grew, strange and unsettling. The guards froze. The queen stiffened. "Why are you laughing?" Sierra lifted her head slowly. Blood trickled down her arm. Her eyes, though wet, were steady. "I am laughing," she said, "because I finally understand." Nombasa narrowed her eyes. "Explain yourself before I forget mercy exists." Sierra inhaled deeply. "I lay on your bed one night and I am beaten before the sun rises." The courtyard fell silent. She continued, her voice calm but sharp. "But you sleep there every night." A gust of wind swept through the space. Even the birds seemed to stop. "If one night deserves lashes," Sierra said quietly, "what does a lifetime deserve before the spirits?" Gasps burst from the crowd. Nombasa's breath caught. Her chest tightened. For a moment her authority wavered, visible as a crack in stone. "Enough!" she snapped. "Take her away!" The guards dragged Sierra off, but her words clung to the air like smoke that refused to clear. That night Queen Nombasa could not sleep. The bed felt wrong, heavy, suffocating. She tossed, then sat up. "Leave me," she ordered the maid at the door. Alone, she stared at the carved ceiling. The servant's voice echoed again and again. "One night, a lifetime." "Foolish girl," Nombasa muttered. "She knows nothing of rule." Yet her heart beat too fast. She rose and paced the room. Her feet sank into silk rugs while her thoughts drifted to mud huts beyond the palace walls. She remembered her father's voice. "Rule firmly. Distance keeps power clean." But power felt filthy now. Before dawn, she stood before the bed and yanked the silk sheets away. They pooled on the floor like shed skin. When the sun rose, the palace buzzed. She refused her gold breakfast. She sent away the
spirits have
perfumers.
spoken. The time
She
for
walks
change has
alone.
arrived.
By mid-morning, Nombasa stepped outside the gates wearing plain cloth. "No guards," Elder Kofiri whispered urgently. "My queen, this is dangerous." "Let it be," she said. Sierra watched from the edge of the crowd, her back burning, her heart racing. When she saw the queen's bare feet touch the earth, her breath caught. "She will turn back," someone murmured. But Nombasa didn't. She walked into the fields where farmers froze mid-motion. "What do you grow?" the queen asked one man. He stared, stunned. "Yams, my queen." "When last did rain fall?" "Too long ago," he replied carefully. She nodded. "Show me." By afternoon, word had spread like wildfire. She listens. She kneels. She says sorry. An old woman stepped forward, trembling. "If I speak, will I be beaten?" Nombasa's chest tightened. "No," she said. "Speak." "My husband died building your wall," the woman whispered. "No one fed me after." The queen closed her eyes. Then she knelt. Gasps tore through the crowd. That night the council gathered in fury. "You are tearing the throne apart," one elder said. "The people will lose fear," another hissed. "A queen who kneels invites rebellion." Nombasa's voice was steady. "Fear is not loyalty." "This must stop," Elder Kofari warned. "Choose order or chaos." Meanwhile, whispers turned sharp. "This servant started it. She cursed the palace. She should be punished again." Sira lay awake, guilt pressing her chest. Had she doomed them all? 3 days later, defiance surfaced openly. A noble refused to bow. Guards hesitated to strike. Laughter rose where silence once ruled. That evening, Nombasa summoned Sira. "Do you regret speaking?" the queen asked. "Every day," Sira said softly, "and never. They say you weakened me." "I gave you sight," Sira replied. The queen stared at the bare bed frame. "Tomorrow," Nombasa said, "I speak to the kingdom." Sira's heart sank. "They may rise against you." Nombasa met her gaze. "Then I will fall awake." The sun rose heavy and slow, as if it too feared what the day would bring. By the time Queen Nombasa stepped into the great square, the entire kingdom of Ilunde had gathered. Farmers stood beside nobles, servants pressed against warriors, mothers held children tightly, whispering warnings into small ears. Guards lined the edges, hands hovering near their weapons, uncertain who they were meant to protect. Sira stood near the front, her heart pounding so loud she was sure others could hear it. Her back still burned, but fear burned hotter. Queen Nombasa climbed the platform alone. No crown, no gold, no shield of distance. A low murmur rolled through the crowd. "She is unguarded. This is a trap. She wants us to kneel." Nombasa raised her hand. The square fell into uneasy silence. "I was taught," she began, her voice carrying clearly, "that a queen must be untouched, above hunger, above pain, above you." A few nobles nodded sharply. "I was taught that fear keeps order." Her eyes scanned the crowd. She saw suspicion, anger, hope she did not deserve. "I punished a servant," she continued, "for touching comfort." A ripple moved through the people. "I beat her for one night of rest," Nombasa said, her voice tightening, "while I slept in softness every night of my rule." A shout cut through the air. "Then step down!" Gasps followed. The guards stiffened. Elder Kufiri stepped forward urgently. "My queen," she lifted her hand, "let them speak." Another voice rose. "You humiliated the throne. You weakened the guards. You let servants talk back." Nombasa nodded slowly. "Yes." The word hit like thunder. "Yes," she repeated. "I did." The nobles erupted. "This is madness. She invites rebellion. She mocks tradition." A stone landed near the platform, then another. The guards moved forward instinctively. "Stop," Nombasa commanded. They hesitated. "If you strike them," she said, "you strike my failure." Sira's breath caught, her hands trembled. "Why should we trust you now?" a farmer shouted. "Why should we believe this is not another trick?" Nombasa swallowed. Her voice dropped, raw. "Because I am afraid." The square went silent. "I am afraid," she said again, louder. because ruling without listening made me blind, and today, for the first time, I see how much I owe you." She stepped down from the platform. The guards tensed. "My queen!" She ignored them and walked forward until she stood at the edge of the crowd. "I do not ask for your forgiveness," Nombasa said. "I ask for your judgment." A noble sneered. "This is weakness." Sierra felt her legs move before her mind caught up. She stepped forward. "She is not weak," Sierra shouted, her voice shaking but strong. "She is doing what none of you ever allowed her to do, stand where pain lives." All eyes turned. "Who is she?" someone muttered. "The servant," another said. "The whipped one." "Yes," Sierra continued, fear clawing at her chest. "I slept on her bed once and paid with blood. She slept on it for years and paid with silence. Which one of us was more punished?" A hush fell. Sierra's voice rose. "If you reject her now, do it knowing she chose truth over comfort. How many of you would do the same?" A man stepped forward slowly, then a woman, then another. They knelt, not in fear, but in recognition. The nobles backed away, faces pale. Queen Nombasa's knees buckled. She dropped to the ground, dust staining her cloth. Tears streamed freely down her face. "I will change," she said, voice breaking. "Not today, not tomorrow, every day." The guards lowered their weapons. Ilunde exhaled. The days that followed were not easy. Some nobles left the kingdom. Some guards resigned. There were arguments, mistakes, moments when fear tried to crawl back into the throne. But Nombasa did not return to the silk. She ate what the people ate. She listened when they spoke. She punished greed, not exhaustion. She opened the gates at dawn and closed them at dusk, only when the last voice had been heard. Sierra was brought before her one evening. "I owe you my throne," Nombasa said quietly. Sierra shook her head. "You owed them," she replied, nodding toward the city beyond the walls. Nombasa smiled, tired but real. "Stay," she said. "Not as a servant, as a witness." Years passed. Children grew hearing a different story of the throne. Not of fear, but of a day when a queen listened, when a servant spoke, when power bent and did not break, and whenever elders told the tale, they always ended the same way. Ilunde did not change because a queen was perfect. It changed because she was brave enough to be corrected. If this story moved you, if it made you think about power, humility, and courage, don't scroll away. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments, because stories like this live longer when voices respond to them. And remember, a throne that refuses to listen will eventually hear the ground crack beneath it.